Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Strictly Sports. It's your boy, B Wise.
Miles.
And your man Trigger. What's happening?
How y'all doing? Why you had to be a man? Hey, your man, Trigger.
I don't know because you said boy already. I just want to do something different.
You just tried to establish your dominance early in the conversation.
Oh my goodness! Stop!
You've been reading the Art of War.
Stop! Stop! Stop!
You've been reading the Art of War. Don't worry, I got
Mm-mm.
the audio book. So how y'all doing? How's y'all week? How was y'all week?
I mean, this week's been better. It wasn't as bad as the week before, and I think we all know why. But you know,
Yeah, yeah. You ain't have to watch them Cowboys.
yeah, there you go.
You ain't have to watch them Cowboys.
Yep. No one was going to upset me this week, so it's pretty good.
I wouldn't lost. Wouldn't lost Miles. Oh, he back. Here we go.
My fault, y'all. I don't know what happened, but
I started
Mm-hmm.
talking about the Cowboys, and your phone just shut off immediately.
yeah, well, if y'all talking about the Cowboys, I'll talk to y'all later. No, I'm just with you. I mean, Trigger, I love you. I tried to tell you.
I
I
know, I
tried.
know you did.
I,
And I got my thoughts and stuff together and everything, and I processed everything, and it was pretty emotional. The night they lost, of course,
mm-hmm.
but in the days following it, I kind of had a clearer head about everything that happened. It don't change my view on how I feel about the team's performance. I think they
Mm-hmm.
absolutely wet the bed, but
Yeah.
there was some positive that came from it, believe it or not, and I'll explain when we get to it.
Okay. I would love to hear the positives because I damn sure didn't see one.
Uh, I'm sorry. Um,
So that what we talking about first, the Cowboys?
yeah, y'all go ahead. Y'all go ahead. Talk to Cowboys. Go ahead, run. Go ahead. I'm letting y'all run.
I
Y'all
mean,
let y'all run first.
the game is kind of a week old. I don't really. I mean, we all saw the game. We all saw what happened.
I saw the first half.
Yeah, I knew that I predicted Green Bay was going to win. I didn't think it was going to be win in the fashion that they did, but it's not surprising. This is what the Dallas does in big games. Um, moving forward, I don't see nothing really happening until Jerry Jones gets out the way. I've never seen an owner who is the general manager and the president. You know, like nigga, you are a billionaire and you're 81 years old. Why are you working? I mean that I don't understand. Um, he's in the way, and he's gonna continue to be in the way because he wants to be the reason why they win a Super Bowl, and he's the reason why they're not going to win a Super Bowl.
I
Uh,
mean, y'all worth 9 billion. If I'm Jerry, I'm staying. I'm staying with my nine
yeah,
billion
but they're
too.
not
I'm staying
billion.
with my 9 billion too, baby.
That's on the business side of the football. When it comes to straight football, he don't know what he's doing. That's why you hire. So when you're an owner of a team, you hire director of football operations, and then you hire someone who handles the business side. The business side is A plus, A1. It's the football side that needs help. He wants to be the judge, jury, and executioner of everything. Why is it that he's always talking? He's the first person to talk after a game. What other owner do you know that does that?
Nobody.
Do you see Robert Kraft? Do you see Robert Kraft having an interview after the game? No.
No.
Marcus Spears. I was watching Marcus Spears. It was that Monday night when Philly played Tampa, and he said when he left to go to Baltimore, he saw the Baltimore owner twice in 1 year. Twice, meaning the owner stays the hell out the way.
At least he ain't throwing drinks on people.
Well, that's why y'all in the position y'all in too. So it's just until Jerry gets out the way, we can make all the moves. We can hire all the hot shot coaches, get all the hot shot players. Ain't shit gonna change. They gonna be in the first round, knocked out again. And all this talk about we need to rebuild. Stop it. That man is 81 years old. He ain't trying to rebuild nothing. He don't have time left on this earth to rebuild. Uh, Now, like Trigger said, I was emotional. I wanted to get rid of Dak, but now that I have a clear head, unfortunately, we're stuck with Dak. He'll do what he do in the regular season, but he'll choke in the playoffs. But if you get rid of Dak, what is your next option?
Y'all gonna have to pay Dak what 60 though. I
Pay
mean,
him
you got Trey
60, but
Lance.
if you pay him, but here's the thing though, I don't know how it really works. If you give him an extension, that will free up salary cap space. How? I don't know, but this is what the experts are saying.
Well, if to give a little quick answer to your question, if this is the year to get rid of Dak, this is the year I would do it, and because this is a quarterback-rich draft, or you can wait if you want to wait for Shador. Shador coming to Dallas next year, but
Shador is not the answer. I'm sorry, I've heard that. He's a
if you
good
get
college
Shador,
football quarterback. I
hey, if
don't
you get
think.
Shador, you get Dion. What if you get
Huh?
Dion with Shador? What if you get Dion with Shador?
Dion is not coming to the NFL. He already said he's not. He doesn't want to coach NFL players.
Hold on, hold on. I'm sorry. For the Cowboys, I think Dion coming. If Jerry
No.
called Dion, I think Dion coming.
But let me tell you why. Because Dion loves Jerry, but Dion don't want to work for Jerry. I love all y'all, but I don't want to work for none of y'all niggas.
Damn.
I'm just saying. He loved Jerry, but he don't want to work underneath Jerry.
Yeah, that's fact.
That's why we can't. That's why they hire who they hire. Everybody
What's up,
talking
Lady
about
Ray?
Bill
How you
Belichick
doing?
and Jim
Lady Ray in
Harbaugh.
the house.
Talking about Bill Belichick, and Jim Harbaugh. They don't want to work with. They don't want to work underneath Jerry. So they gonna be in the same predicament next year. I'm a Cowboys. I'm a diehard Cowboys fan, but I didn't give up hope in that first 49ers playoff loss. That's all I needed. So
I don't know. I think this year y'all can go get you a Jordan Travis, let Cooper Rush and Trey Lance battle it out and move on from Dak and
if
try to start anew.
if Trey Lance couldn't make it in a Kyle Shanahan's offense, what makes you think he'll make it in a Dallas offense?
Well, you got to realize he was in that offense. He only played football for what 3 years out of high school, 1 year out of high school, really. You got to think about that. 1 year out of high school, he was literally like a college junior going into this last time he played, especially with all the injuries. I mean, he's injury prone, but he didn't play that much football. He played his freshman year. He was hurt, got drafted, got hurt, and so you might have like a Jordan Love type situation.
I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't bet on it, but I mean, hell, what else we got? I
That
mean, go for it.
has anything came of the CD between CD Lamb and I'm sorry, I didn't let you finish your run, but
No, you good.
that's the CD and the thing. Have any of y'all heard anything else on that?
What you talking about with his mom?
Yeah.
His mama need to shut the hell up. Dak's ass, but who was the one that gave your son 1,700 reception yards, 133 catches, and led the league in targets?
Yeah, broke a record in targets.
Yeah,
Broke a team record in catches and yards this season.
So when your son get that big payday, it's because of Dak. So mama need to shut the hell up.
What else you got, Miles?
That's it. They are who they thought. They are who I thought they were, and they will do the same shit next year, and the year after that, and the year after that.
Stephen A. Smith laugh.
Huh?
Stephen A. Smith laugh.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. So my thoughts, and I'm sorry, this is not going to be as venomous because it's not as fresh in my head anymore. I've had time to process everything and like kind of take in what happened and kind of clear my head because I was ready. I know Miles was ready to come on here tonight. It happened like we need to go live tonight. I got some things I need to get off my chest, and I was right there with you, brother.
He'd have been like CD Mom. He'd have been like CD Mom.
It was probably a good thing it didn't go on because I feel like I would cheat the fans, the people who tune in to watch our show, by just going on an emotional rant rather than kind of breaking down what I've seen and really giving my, opinion on everything that happened. So
It might have been our Cat Williams moment.
nah, I don't think it would have been anything like that. At least
we got to X now, bro. Hey, we got to X now. Clips gonna be on X, y'all. Like and subscribe to X. So we can be talking that cash money on there because we going at people. I like the way people go at people on X. I'm sorry, Trigger.
Well, no, you good, brother. But anywho, I watched the first half of that game, or close to the first. I don't think I fully watched the first half because, the way the Cowboys came out, I could see where it was headed. As a former athlete, I can tell you that in all team sports, I may not, know baseball. I may not know football, as far as like schemes, the X's and O's and all that stuff like that. I don't get into the weeds of that stuff with other sports. Obviously I know basketball because that's what I played. But what I do know is if a team looks ready, and the Cowboys did not look ready to play in that game. It looked like a team that came in and took Green Bay for granted. And that's exactly how they played. Like Dak did not look comfortable in the pocket at all in the first half of that game. CeeDee Lamb all of a sudden was dropping catches that he normally made. The defense couldn't stop a nosebleed.
They
That
went
was
in
a big
San
thing.
Fran.
That was the same thing coming into that game. There was a lot of San Fran, uh, flashbacks that I had watching that game in the first half. I mean, it literally was the same game, just a different team. But I said going into the playoffs, the Cowboys will need to be able to do two things: run the ball and stop the run. And they couldn't run the ball, and Aaron Jones ran all over them, and that's the result.
Again.
Obviously, there was more reason as to why we lost that game, other than that the Packers run game. But man, it was an absolute cluster. It was a mess. Dak out there throwing the ball away, trying to force the ball to CeeDee Lamb. Him and CD getting into it. We didn't really see that during the season. So we seen a bunch of things. Them not looking prepared, them arguing with each other. Mike McCarthy looking foolish. All these things. They got penalties on that first defensive series, right? The Cowboys sacked Jordan Love, but Deron Bland gets a holding penalty down the field, which negates the sack and gives the Packers a first down. They have a chance to hold them to a field goal late in the drive, and now a veteran pass rusher, DeMarcus Lawrence, jumps offside, turns a 3rd and 7 into 3rd and 2. Packers go on to score. And what else would I say about that? If you keep getting penalties and keep drives alive, no matter how good or bad the team you're playing against, eventually they're going to stick the ball in the end zone. And the Cowboys did that. They resorted to form after they went the last 2 weeks of the regular season and they hardly got any penalties. And they come in the playoffs, the very first series, they get two big penalties right off the bat, which aids Green Bay into scoring 7 instead of either getting the ball back on a punt after that sack earlier in the drive or forcing them to 3 points in the red zone rather than giving up 6. So yeah, they do absolutely unprepared, and they just for whatever reason the playoffs they regress. They regress. They didn't come streaking into the playoffs, but they had played good enough football to where they should have beat Green Bay at home. And that's the part that pisses me off more than anything is, 3 or 4 weeks before the season ended, Dallas was not a thought to get any kind of home field advantage. They had already given the division to Philly. Philly was going to win out, or they was going to win 2 of the last 3. Dallas was more likely to lose, 2 or 3 games. They had a tougher schedule to finish the season than Philly did. I mean, it was lined up for Philly to win the division and get the number 2 seed and get 2 home games in the playoffs. The fact that Dallas ended up in that spot, I still, right now, can't fathom how that happened. Like we went into week 18 controlling our own destiny. All we had to do was beat Washington, and we get number 2 seed. We get 2 games at home, a place that we have been great all season. The only team in the league to not lose a home game this season. The only team in the league to win 16 straight home games. Like who doesn't want that? And that's where that came from, as my prediction of Dallas possibly getting to the NFC Championship because they had 2 games in Dallas. Now, if they go on the road as a number 5 seed, then I'm with you, Miles. I'm like, okay, they probably not getting past the divisional round. I don't give them much of a chance because they showed what they do on the road against good teams throughout the season, which is they don't win. They have not beaten a good road team. They have not beaten a good team on the road at all this season. They lost all those games. So in the playoffs, everybody's good. I don't care if the Packers are 9-8, 8-9, whatever. If Tampa Bay is 9-8. They're playing at home and we're going into their stadium. Like we got to treat them as if they're, like us. They're 12-5. Like they won their division. You know? So the Cowboys had it laid out for them. And that's why I predicted them to go to the NFC Championship because they had 2 home games, guaranteed before that. And like I said, they were great at home. And the fact that they had all that laid out for them when they wasn't even close to it a few weeks prior to that, and they went and they squandered that opportunity the way that they did, they've hit an all-time low. You got players and you got, family members of players, going at the Cowboys fan base, going at the team, like everybody pointing the finger, blaming each other. I'm hearing that, some guys on the offense and the defensive side of the ball in the preseason wasn't sure about Dak, didn't know if he was the guy to do it. And I'm like, you got teammates, guys within the organization that believe that. What does that say about your team? What does that say about your quarterback? So I don't know. It's just a mess. I mean, this team has hit an all-time low, given what they had in front of them and how they messed the opportunity up. And now everybody's playing the blame game. You got Michael Parsons' brother, talking down on the Dallas fan base. You got Dak Prescott's brother talking down the Dallas fan base. You got CeeDee Lamb's mom going at Dak. Like, it's just calamity. It's chaos. We made the point earlier about Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones got to be Jerry Jones. He can't stand it. I don't want to hear any more talk from Jerry Jones about the money I would pay to win a Super Bowl ring. I would do just about anything. You want to do anything, Jerry? Here's some things you can do for free. You ain't got to write a check for this. You can do this free. Get out the way. Stay out the media. Why you get interviewed after every game as if you just came off the field? Why you on a podcast every week talking about the Cowboys, putting stuff in the news, putting headlines out there, making distractions for the team? These are the types of things that work against us. No other owner does these things. Jerry's trying to have control of the team, like you said, to try to take all the credit when things do go his way. And yes, I was calling for Mike McCarthy's job. I was calling for them to trade Dak. I was calling them to do all this thing, but realize you can't trade Dak because he has no trade clause in his contract. So that's not happening. And I doubt the Cowboys are going to cut him and lose him for nothing. So that's not going to happen. So we're stuck with him. We have him. He's there. He's going to be a great regular season quarterback. He's not going to do anything in the playoffs unless we just put absolute studs on offense and defense around him. So that way, the pressure's not so great on him to perform in the playoffs. The Cowboys have to get a running back. I believe they let Tony Pollard walk in free agency. I don't see the deal or see the need in franchise tagging him again for another season or extending him or getting him a contract. Like he proved as an RB1 that he is not the answer. I'm sorry. I like Tony Pollard as a backup, as a guy to come in on, in pass catch situations or, putting him in situations where he can operate in space. But I'm not a fan of turning around and handing him the ball and letting him just run through the tackles. He's not that type of running
What
back.
about with Derrick Henry?
He's not built like that.
You
Derrick
think
Henry,
about
I
Derrick
trust.
Henry?
Derrick Henry runs through the tackles. My only concern with Derrick Henry is his age and all the mileage on him. He's been Tennessee's offense, since he's been there. Basically, at least the last 3 or 4 years, he's been their whole offense. They haven't really had, even when AJ Brown was there, they were very, very heavily reliant upon the run game, and that's why Derrick Henry had so many 100-yard games. You have a lot of 100-yard games, you're getting a lot of carries. Wear and tear, you know, it builds a lot quicker than somebody who's on carrying it half the time that a Derrick Henry is carrying the ball. And like saying like he's gonna turn 30 or he's already
He's
30.
already turned 30.
Yeah, he's already turned. I think he's gonna turn 31. Oh no, wait, no, his birthday's in January. My bad. So he
Yeah, his
just
birthday
turned
like
30.
January 8th or something like that.
Yeah, I think it's the 8th or the 4th or something like that. But he already turned 30, so that's old for a running back, especially one like I said, Derrick Henry, who's you know he's a contact back. Like he's running through guys and getting contact on every single play. It wears you down. It takes a toll on your body. So does the Cowboys want to invest in that for 2 or 3 seasons? And he's going to be looking to make a nice piece of change in that amount of time. So I don't know if that's the answer for us, long term, given how he his he's still playing at a high level, but we expect the running backs to hit that wall no matter how great they are. Eventually they hit that wall. Like you got rare cases like Adrian Peterson or Frank Gore, these guys who were unicorns and played for years and years and years. They weren't as effective in their latter years as they were obviously in their primes, but the fact that they were still playing the positions and teams were still running them out there and giving them touches has to say something about the shape that they were in and the way they were able to maximize the loads that they were given. So I don't know if Derrick Henry will fall in that category, but we'll see what the Cowboys do. But there's some nice running backs in the draft that they may be able to go pick up who are younger and will come in on a rookie deal that maybe a little bit bigger than Pollard that can squeeze between the tackles. And, that might be what we need. But, who's to say what they're going to do? We definitely need to beef up the defensive side of the ball. The offensive line, we don't know if Tyron Smith will be back or not next year. I'm personally fine with moving on from him. He's never healthy anyway. He doesn't play all the regular season games. Tyler Smith has started to step in and play better. Um, so they might draft the offensive lineman in the first round. I don't know. But as far as our quarterback goes, Dak is going to be the guy. He's going to be there, and us Cowboys fans, as long as we're still supporting, we're just going to have to, just be happy with that. Or maybe not be happy with it, but we're just going to have to accept it. And that's a better word to use in that situation. But yeah, and getting to Mike McCarthy, we see the coaches that are obviously on the NFL hiring spectrum this go around, and you got some big names out there like Bill Belichick and Jim Harbaugh. You got some other Eric Bieniemy who's getting consideration of being a head coach in Washington. Ron Rivera is out there, but the fact that Mike McCarthy, is coming back again for a fifth season. Initially, I was upset, and I just thought, how can you not, after the way the season ended? Yes, he had 3 straight 12-5 seasons, but the postseason, hasn't got past the divisional round. Why is it, or how is it that this man? What can you say about him and his postseason success or lack of success with Dallas warrants him having a job
Hey,
going
Trigger, can
into
I
week
answer
3?
that question right quick?
Yeah.
I agree with you 1,000%. I think the reason why they kept him was because of his contract. He has
Yes.
1 year left on his deal.
That's what I was about to get
Oh,
into
I'm
and
sorry. Go
say.
ahead.
Yeah, that's what I was going to get to. I was like, initially I was upset, but after finding out about that, he having 1 year left on his contract, I'm like, okay, not a bad move. It doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to cut him with 1 year left. And then the way Jerry, this is one thing I agree with Jerry on. Jerry said that having a guy, in a contract year, we see players do this all the time when they're up for a contract, they ball out. So who's to say this could bring something out of Mike McCarthy to push this team over the edge, with him playing for an extension, saving his job. That'll cause him to be a little bit more desperate, but obviously a little bit more calculated in his desperation. But it might bring something out of him to push him, to motivate him to finally get this team where it needs to be. So I'm like, okay, I get it. I'm cool with that. Plus, the other side of it too. If you take McCarthy out and you go get a brand new head coach, now this coach is going to come in with a whole new system, and that's a whole new thing that the team has to reinvest in, learn, and you might have to change personnel up. Like you have to do all these changes. And I know in sports, at least with basketball, when you get a new head coach and you try to implement a system, it does take a couple of years for it to finally start working and clicking the way you want it to. McCarthy has already had something established there with his 4 years in Dallas. They've made changes here and there on their offense, and they changed the terminology and how they do things, the cadence and all that stuff. But essentially, everything is pretty much the same. Everybody's familiarized with the system, so you keep that in play, by keeping him there too. So yes, initially I was frustrated with him making the decision to keep him. But then I thought about it when I found out, this is the last year of his contract. Hey, let him play it out. Let him play for his extension. So that way, next season, if the same thing happens again, which is very likely because we've seen it 3 years in a row now, they don't have to fire him. They just let him go. They don't re-sign him. They save him a little bit of embarrassment by firing him. They just decide to mutually part ways. And they just, they do it amicably. They do it professionally. Just let him go about his business. Maybe he gets another head coaching job. Maybe he doesn't. But then the Cowboys can move on, and then we can, I guess, somewhat, get a new head coach in and start over at, to a degree. But, I'm not thrilled about Mike McCarthy being back, but I understand, and I'm okay with it because of the circumstances. So there's some good in that. That was one of the good things I was telling you about earlier that I was going to get into. That's one of the good things about the Cowboys, bringing McCarthy back is the fact that it's a contract year. He's going to be motivated. He's going to do things to try to get this team over the hump, and that's what I want to see out of him. So that's what I'm expecting going into next year. Is it going to produce results? I don't know, but I'm hopeful. I'm still hopeful. The other positive thing about that came out of this whole mess is the families of these players, going at the fan base, you know, CeeDee Lamb's mama attacking Dak. Like, this right here lets me know that Dallas has hit an all-time low. All-time low. I've never in my life seen anything like I've seen with family members coming out the woodwork, attacking the fan base, attacking players, attacking the organization. Like, this is new. Like, everybody's frustrated, everybody's upset, and rightfully so. But I think everybody's anger is, a little misguided. You know, people are kind of just spewing venom in everybody's direction. They don't care if you're a fan or not. And that's simply because this fan base is tired of losing. This fan base is tired of having talented teams and coming up way short. Not coming up short, but coming up way short every single year. Like, these guys have had talent over the years. We have not had a bad football team, or maybe like once in the last 10 seasons. The Cowboys have been playoff teams, it's about every single year. They made the playoffs every year under McCarthy. So, like, when we
Except for
get
the
there,
first year.
except for the first year, correct. But when we get there, we are expected to do things. We are expected to win. This family, like, I look at these Detroit fans and how happy they are, because they're one of, I think, two other teams that have had a longer championship drought or NFC or conference title game appearance than the Cowboys. And these Detroit fans, I watched a video package earlier today. It's a montage of clips from Detroit, like the only team in NFL history to go 0-16 in the season. Like, can you imagine being that low? That was their lowest point. Now, the years after that weren't great either. They weren't 0-16 bad. But, last year they didn't have a great season. But they finished the year strong. They had a great draft. They had a great free agency. And lo and behold, they're in the NFC Championship game. So, people in the city of Detroit, I watched that little montage. The fans were in that video, man. And, like, the year they went 0-16, devastated. I mean, grown men in tears. This city so badly wants this team to win something, to be a part of something great. Dan Campbell coming in, a few years ago, his message, everyone looked at him crazy. And look at him now. That team is a reflection of that man and his psychotic way of thinking and the verbiage that he used to motivate his guys. Like, they are a reflection of him. They have a great culture and a great system in Detroit. And it's no surprise that they're in the NFC Championship game. They play some great football. They got the right pieces. They don't have a bunch of, like, superstar players. They got a bunch of really good, talented players that have great chemistry with each other and they play well together. Now, the defense is still a little suspect. We're gonna see how they hold up. But I think if the Packers could give San Fran a run for their money, I think Detroit would be more than qualified to do the same thing. So I'm looking forward to a great game between the two of them, and I'm happy for the Detroit fan base. But the only reason why I bring Detroit up is because Dallas, us and Detroit fans, we're the same. We're the same. The only difference between us and Detroit is Dallas has had good teams every year, and we fall short every year. Detroit don't ever make the playoffs like that. They probably made the playoffs maybe like 2 or 3 times in the last 10 years. And, every time they feel like they get in there and they don't win, they get set back, 5 years. So it's tough being a Lions fan. I can imagine because, I feel the same way being a Cowboys fan, just not watching us, lose in the wild card round or the divisional round every season. Like, it's hard to watch that over and over and over again. And these Detroit fans, man, I feel so happy for them. And I can't imagine, how they're feeling right now, man. That town, man, it's probably a madhouse right now out there. Like, the fans were in the streets celebrating in the snow, just doing burnouts and donuts and just all kinds of stuff because they've never been here before, or they haven't been here in 30 plus years, basically. Um, they haven't seen this type of greatness since Barry Sanders last played in the Detroit uniform. So um, I just want to feel what they feeling for once. Dallas, has been in the conversation and they've been close, but yet they haven't at the same time. And it's frustrating. It's frustrating watching them have good team after good team after good team. This is 2 or 3 years now. They've been, you know, they had an offensive squad, they had a defensive squad. Like, they play great complementary football, and it just like teams that have those things in their favor. They got good offense, good defense. They typically go on and make runs in the playoffs. They go to the conference championship. They go to Super Bowls. Dallas the only team that play complimentary football and don't get past the divisional round. Like how you good and you know how many teams out there would kill to have a good defense and a good offense at the same time in the same year. Like Detroit, like I said, their defense ain't great. They're in the NFC Championship. Green Bay, I mean, they were in the bottom five in the defensive statistical categories, and the offense wasn't glamorous either. And they knocked the Cowboys off, and you should have knocked the 49ers off, in my opinion, the way that game went. So you got these teams in the playoffs, that don't have complete teams on the other side, outside of maybe Baltimore and San Fran. You can even throw Kansas City in that mix once their offense started playing better. They had a good defense all year. Just their offense was kind of, guys dropping passes and stuff like that. So, the Cowboys only team, one of the few teams that came into this postseason that was complete on both sides of the ball. And yet we got sent home in the first round. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. So I don't know what this team's plans is in the offseason. You got a couple big name free agents. I don't know if we resign them or look elsewhere. We need to address the run defense, and I think that's more of a personnel issue than it is scheme because we had a lot of guys who are playing defense who are getting pushed around. They're just not big enough. Um, and we need to fix that up. And then offensively, I still think we need to go get another receiver. I don't know what we're doing with Michael Gallup. If we could trade him at this point, that would be good. Maybe get somebody, a legit wide receiver two back in his spot. Give another option to play along with CeeDee Lamb. We definitely need a running back. I don't know if that's through the draft or if you go kick the tires on Derrick Henry. I don't know. But there are some things we need to fix on both sides of the ball. Um, and like I said, I don't know how they're going to do it, but if they're going to remain competitive, if they're looking to go 12-5 for a fourth year in a row or better, there's some things they got to fix personnel wise.
The defense, man, the defense. I've always said the defense. They fools gold. They look good on paper, but if you really study them, they ain't really that good. Deron Bland, I've said it, pretty much mid-season. It's the reason why he got 9 picks.
Yep.
It's the reason why he got 9 picks, and it's the reason why Sauce Gardner got 1.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, reiterate the defensive line. You got linebackers pretty much playing defensive line. They're too small.
Yep.
Dan Campbell wants to have this, sideline to sideline defense, but when you run up the gut, there's nothing to do for it. Linebackers are too small. You can't be giving up rushing yards. Give up a lot of rushing yards, your defense is gonna stay on the field longer. And then you open up play action pass. That's why Green Bay just had receivers running wide the fuck open last Sunday. I mean, it was like Oprah out there. You get an open pass. You get an open pass. You get an open pass. I mean, everybody's fucking open. I'm like, God damn. But like I said, you already told you I don't see them doing anything next year. The year after that, this is who they are. Until Jerry Jones, gives up the power or other thing else. I'd answer your question though, Trigger. I wouldn't sign a veteran running back. I would draft them. You can draft a running back for cheaper. They get the same productivity out of it.
That's what I was getting at. I was like, you go that route. And,
I mean, I like Derrick Henry,
but on a rookie deal, but
I don't think Derrick Henry. I mean, he's past his prime. At 247 pounds, and you're not as quick as you are, you're just gonna block up stuff. They gonna hit you, and you ain't going nowhere. But we'll see. But enough about the Cowboys, man. Let's talk about these 4 teams that's still in it. Let's give them some love.
Absolutely. It's nice to see my predictions came true.
Yeah.
But I told y'all, my dark horse in the AFC was Kansas City.
Yeah, you said it.
We were talking about, the Ravens, obviously. We talked about the runs that the Browns and the Texans were on. Hell, we even mentioned Buffalo, and how they were starting to click at the right time. But nobody was really talking about Kansas City because they went 11-6. This was a down year for them. But I told y'all, if that offense starts catching the ball, their defense is top 3 in the league overall. So they got a pretty good defense. But if Mahomes is healthy, if Kelsey is healthy, and those receivers start catching the ball instead of dropping passes like they was doing during the regular season, they'd be a tough out. Also, Kansas City, the way it sits right now with the 4 remaining teams, most experienced team that's left in it. This is new for Lamar Jackson. He's never been to the AFC Championship game. Obviously, this is new for Detroit. They haven't been in it since 91. And it's also new for San Fran because, remember, Brock Purdy got knocked out the conference championship last year. So he didn't really experience, what it was like to be in that conference championship game against Philly.
Yeah.
So this is new for 3 out of the 4 teams that's in it. So don't be surprised if Kansas City wins it all. They're going to have a tough out against Baltimore. And I'm picking Baltimore to beat them. But I wouldn't be surprised if Kansas City did win in Baltimore.
You really? Oh, so you picking Baltimore?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm going to pick Baltimore.
I got Kansas City winning that game.
I just feel like Lamar Jackson has a little bit more to prove. Patrick Mahomes, this is his 6th straight AFC Championship game, which is remarkable, by the way. And we take Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs team for granted because what they've done the last 6 seasons has been absolutely I don't think that's happened in sports like the way they've done it. Like this man has been to a conference championship every year he's been the starter there. Like no other quarterback I don't think has done that. Every year they've been the starting quarterback at minimum 1 game away from the Super Bowl every season. Like that's insane. Like what? But they're there here again, and like I said, experience. So, but I think, like I said, I think it might be a close game. I think the Ravens defense is better than the Chiefs defense, and I think Lamar, man, he's just too much. Like he's also you got to worry about him passing the ball and running it. When before it was him just running the ball, like you were threatened by him as a passer. There's still some people out there that still don't think that he's a great passer, but he is. You do have to watch him. He's a true dual threat. I think, in my opinion, you got to account for both now. He's not hesitating. Whatever he sees, he's taking it, and he's making plays. He deserves the MVP if he is to win that award. I would not be upset with that at all. Like I say, you got Patrick Mahomes, who's been there, done that, 5 times now, and been to 3 Super Bowls, won 2 of them. It's going to be a tough task for both teams, but I think Baltimore wins a close one at home.
Oh no, man! I just like you said, Greg Day, Karl Anthony Towns got 40 points, and it's only the 2nd quarter.
Well, Embiid got 50-something right now, and it's only the 3rd quarter.
Goodness gracious!
He had 34 at halftime.
But
he is killing Wemby though. Wemby, he's just too small. He just bodied him.
Yeah. But I ain't never seen a Cat he must be on fire. 40 points and it's not even halftime yet. Ooh.
Yeah, he's on a pace better pace than Embiid was.
Yeah. But I'm gonna have to go with Kansas City, man. Like I said, I can't go against Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. I hear what you're saying about Lamar, but Mahomes in the playoff time, man, he's a different animal. And then for the NFC, my head would say the 49ers by at least 2 touchdowns, but I'm going with Detroit, man. I just feel like there's just something is going on in that city, and it ain't like the Pistons been giving them any hope, but Michigan winning the national championship. And now Detroit, I just going with Detroit. I'm picking with my heart, not my head.
Yeah, I really feel like Detroit's going to win too for whatever reason. I just feel like it's just they realize what they've done this year, and to be this close in a city that's had nothing to cheer about in recent memory. That's all the motivation they need to ride to a victory in this game. Like I said earlier, the Packers had a shot. Excuse me. The Packers had a really good chance, and a lot of people argue that they probably should have won that game against San Fran. Now, granted, San Fran, I always say teams coming off the bye, they look a little rusty. Even Baltimore did um, in their game against Houston. It was, they looked a little slow, but once they got it going, they got it going. And
Mm-hmm.
Houston didn't do enough early to really, get them. Houston didn't do enough early in that game to really get Baltimore, pinned up against the wall, you know, and like, okay, we need to do something here.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the same thing with San Fran, the 49, the Packers had, control of that game for most of the game. Like they had them, and the defense made a couple of plays towards the end that saved the day. But Green Bay, I think, should have won that game. So I'm thinking if Green Bay had them on the ropes in San Fran, I think Detroit could come in and do the same thing. And they have a better team, I think, than Green Bay does.
Mm.
So I'm picking.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pick. I'm right there with you. I'm picking Detroit, and I probably talked myself into doing that too. Plus, the Niners may not have Debo Samuel, and during the regular season, at least, when Debo Samuel did not play, for whatever reason, this team looked completely different, and they did not win a game. Now they went on and they won, against the Bucs yesterday. However, it was ugly. I'm sorry, not the Bucs. The Packers.
Yeah.
They beat the Packers. But it was ugly without Debo. It was ugly. So
Speaking of the Bucks, what did y'all think about that last 2 minutes when Todd Bowles decided not to use that timeout on fourth down?
I feel like if it was Mike McCarthy, he would have got flamed for it. We're not talking enough about it.
Right.
Can y'all hear me now?
That.
And then Detroit
Yeah, we can
for,
hear
for
you.
All right.
snapping the ball. Earlier, they should have waited a little bit. Why did they made an error too, and
Yeah.
they helped aid the Bucks in making what I thought would be an easy decision and calling that timeout. And at least you forced them to kick a 50 or 49-yard field goal, which was not a gimme, by the way. That kicker's stats from 50 plus was terrible. So they could have punted the ball instead of kicked the field goal. Because you kick that field goal and miss, now look where they have the ball at. They're at midfield. They're in the Hail Mary range already. You
Yeah.
know, 15, 20 yards, put them in field goal range. I mean, I know they had to have a touchdown, but, you make life a lot easier for Tampa Bay. So you force Dan Campbell to have to make a decision. Do they kick the field goal? Do they punt it? What do we do?
Yeah.
So they never put Detroit in that decision, and they pretty much just said, we good. But then I read that after the game, he said that, they weren't going to be nothing beneficial is going to happen to them in the situation, so he just let the clock run out. I'm like, dude, what do you mean nothing's going to happen? Have you watched the NFL
Right.
in life? You see some crazy ass plays happen in the last 30 seconds of a ball game. Like, how you know you're playing? Like, if they go punt the ball, how you know you're not going to block it and run it back for a touchdown? Or if they kick a field goal, how you know you're not going to block it and run it back for a touchdown? How you know if they do force the punt, if you do force them, they punt it, you will run it back for a touchdown? Like, you had 30 something seconds left on the clock. What do you mean, nothing was going to happen? How do you know that? So that excuse was not good enough for me. He just said it and dismissed it like it wasn't a big deal. And I'll have an issue with that. I'm
Yeah.
like, come on, man, you a black head coach, and that's your logic for not calling that timeout and giving
Yeah.
your team another chance. Albeit the chance is very slim, but it's a chance nonetheless. You have no chance at all if you don't take the chance.
Right. Right.
So it's the playoffs. You don't know. Like, we remember a few years ago, we saw the miracle in Minneapolis, that catch that Stephon Diggs had on the Saints when the game
Mm-hmm.
should have been over with. You just don't know. You don't know what's going to happen. You got to at least give your team a chance and try it and see. I think about certain plays in recent memory, like the miracle in Minneapolis. I think about the regular season game between the Dolphins and the Patriots. The lateral at the end, and Kenyon
Yeah.
Drake runs in and scores a touchdown on the very last play. Like, you just never know. Like, you got to try. You got to try. So that's a bad look on him, and that's a bad look on their team having a timeout left on the table. I can see if it was second down, Because then it's no use because you call a timeout when they need it again on third down, and now you can't stop the clock anymore. But it's third down. You stop the clock on third down, you're going into fourth down, and you make Dan Campbell make a decision. You can't just give him the game like that. Y'all were down 2 scores going into that quarter. Like, you came back and made it an 8-point game, a 1-score game. You're a touchdown and a 2-point conversion away from sending this thing to overtime. And I think Baker Mayfield deserved to have a chance to come back on the field after making that mistake and trying to redeem himself. But
Baker
they
would have
never
won that
gave him
game.
that chance.
Baker would have won that game.
They never gave him. They never gave him that chance. And I feel
But
bad, that the season ended the way that it did on that turnover. But yeah, Todd Bowles got to do better. He got to come up with a better reason than that.
I'm picking the 49ers straight up. 49ers is going to beat the dog shit out of Detroit. Jared Goff doesn't do good with pressure. The 49ers line is going to come and just get in his face all day because Penei Sewell ain't going to be able to stop them all.
Brian, I think you breaking up, bro.
You break? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
What?
Can you hear me now? Is it better?
Yeah, that's
Wait,
better.
what?
Will Eminem get his way?
Mad at me.
And will Detroit what? No. I think Detroit getting their tails with. I don't think it's close. But
I expect the unexpected last sometime.
I was asking y'all something before. I guess I couldn't. My mic was said, "Why not Detroit gonna win?" I don't think. I think the 49ers gonna get pressure, and I think that Jared Goff is just gonna be nervous the whole game, and he's gonna make some mistakes, and it's not gonna be what people think it is, and especially what I've seen from what Baker almost did. Yeah, I mean I don't know. Let's talk about the Carolina. We held these teams. We almost beat Green Bay. We held the Bucs to 6 points. Like we coming next year. We ready. But I'm sorry. Y'all go ahead. Y'all keep talking. I got the Ravens. Beating the Chiefs.
Damn, I didn't do it on purpose.
I got the Ravens beating the Chiefs.
Huh?
When you got the Ravens beating the Chiefs, I'm the only one that got Kansas City winning.
You got KC winning?
I got KC winning. I got both road teams winning Sunday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was saying that I was also saying that we are watching Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes set up we watched Tom Brady and we watching Patrick Mahomes set up the LeBron Jordan debate that we're gonna be having for the next 20 years in the NFL.
Well, yeah. So they showed the statistics. Patrick Mahomes has had a better 7 years than Tom Brady has 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why he said
Tom Brady played 21 years, so Patrick Mahomes still got another 14 years to go. But if you look at the first 7 years, Mahomes got him. If Mahomes wins the Super Bowl this year,
it's like LeBron still playing right now, and it's like Brady said, "Oh, the NFL soft now. NFL soft now. That's a different NFL than when I was in it." He's trying to set up the debate that they're gonna be having for the next 20 years. So Strictly Sports 2044, we're gonna be saying that we watched LeBron James and Michael Jordan in the NFL, and then Bryce Young is gonna be Kobe or Steph. Actually, I take Steph. Bryce is more of a Steph, and I see what they mean by the Steph comparison. But
Bryce gonna be the next Smush Parker. But okay.
Boy, you a hater. He not. He got it. He did better than Dak did. He did better than Dak did against that Green Bay team. That was Bryce's best game of the season.
Your team was 1-11, and this was the playoff.
Our defense let us game. Okay, that was a playoff game for them too. That was a playoff game for Green Bay to get into the playoffs.
Well, y'all
but it wasn't a playoff game for y'all.
All 17 games this season, won't it?
We played like it was.
The fact that y'all lost actually did y'all better. You get a higher pick.
No, we don't. Chicago got a higher pick.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Chicago got the number 1 pick.
Caleb Williams.
This season was horrible. Now we hired Dan Morgan to take over. I'm telling you, I think he was complicit to a lot of this stuff. I get what they're trying to do for the culture and the build and all that kind of stuff, but I don't know.
Just
I
want
don't
to
know.
say Dan Morgan, he was a hell of a linebacker.
Oh
He
yeah, he
kind
was
of
a good one.
started that. He kind of started that. That linebacker trend for Carolina.
Yeah, Dan, John Beason. Then we went to Luke Kuechly. Then we
Mm-hmm.
went to Shaq right now. I think
Yeah,
we need a real. I like Frankie in the middle, but I want Frankie to go get after the quarterback. But I'm more. We got to sign all these boys too. And
I got.
but I think Bryce better than what people think. I think Bryce gonna be good if he get it together. He gonna have a Steph narrative. Oh, he was too small. Oh, they said he couldn't play the position. Oh, like I think it's going. Stand by
Mm.
for it.
Okay,
You know what?
if you say so. I mean, you
Y'all
make
don't think
you
so?
make a you would make a great Cowboys fan, Brandon.
No, no, no. I
Yeah,
wouldn't. I
you
would not.
would.
I would not.
The delusion is real.
How's it delusional? How's it delusional? How's Hey, Bryce 2 wins against playoff teams. I don't want to hit nothing. I don't want to hit nothing. Bryce 2 wins against playoff teams. Divisional round playoff teams. Divisional round
Who
playoff
they
teams.
beat?
The Texans and the Packers.
I thought y'all lost to the Packers.
I'm sorry, we lost the Packers. I'm sorry. We beat the who else did we beat? Damn, who did Bryce beat? I don't know. I don't know, brother. I do not know. Who was it? It was Atlanta in the
Don't
rain.
worry, we're
We
waiting.
beat Atlanta in the rain. It was a game winning drive. He got 2 game winning drives. You're right. I'm sorry. His best game was against a divisional round playoff team. Our defense let us down in that game. And we beat a playoff team. And we held CJ Stroud to one of his worst games.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's looking like Ajara Evero might be our coach.
Mm. And I was playing horse with the social studies teacher, and I made 2 threes in a row.
Y'all think Dak
Then
gonna
there's a
do?
dent.
Y'all talking about me? Y'all think Dak and Mike McCarthy gonna come back and do something different next year? Jared
Who
Jones
said
gonna
that?
y'all gonna get a good first round left guard.
See, that's
Or
the
I'm
thing
sorry,
that
left
pisses me
tackle.
off too. The
Y'all can get
Cowboys
Joe Alt.
have these great seasons, and they go in the playoffs and lose. They end up picking 20th in the draft. Like we don't even get a top 10 pick for all our suffering.
Top pick, you
End
got
up
Michael
picking late
Parsons.
every year because they want to be good regular season teams and lose early in the playoffs.
I don't know what argument you're talking about, Lady Ray. What argument? Championship. If you talking about the 49ers gonna beat the dog doo doo out of Detroit, no, that's gonna be Christian McCaffrey gonna get Christian McCaffrey get 150.
Right,
Trigger.
it's gonna be a blowout.
I'm worried. I'm worried Jared Goff is gonna see that pressure, and he does panic when pressure gets close to him. I thought they was lying, and I watched the game, and I was like, he got a little skittish, like Bryce does. That's why I bring up Bryce, because Bryce is a little gunshot now, and he's not consistent with some of his stuff. Well, I'm not gonna say that. I'm not a player, so I can't say that. But from what I see, it's something. It's always something that's not working. Like if Bryce ain't doing it, then it may everybody else is good, or if the receivers drop a pass, or if the line miss a block. Like it's never like cohesion. I would say. I don't know about y'all. Y'all look good in the regular season, then y'all get to the playoffs and just stop doing everything y'all thought was possible.
They don't make no adjustments either.
No, it ain't that. What it is
I was-
is I watched Get Up in the playoffs. Your weakness will get exposed, and that's what happened. The weakness got exposed.
Can't stop the run.
Can't stop the run.
Can't run.
Making no discipline penalties. They got exposed. It's all good when you're playing bad teams. It don't really show. But when you're playing a good team and they've been watching, 50, 60 hours of film all week, they going to expose it.
Yep, that's what they did. They said the Cowboys are still trying to run offense. They ran the regular season verbatim.
Mm-hmm.
Made no adjustments.
I got comfortable. Y'all won't take it.
The Packers was sitting on everything that they did. That's the reason why they got smacked.
Yep.
Yeah,
They said that pick six. They said that's pick six. Dak makes that he made that same mistake he did this year that he did last year. I don't know if you remember the last game against Washington last year. He threw a pick six, same exact play.
Mm.
I don't think he looks at all his reads. If his first, he's so gun ho on his first read, it's like after that he's just a deer in headlights. I still think he's subpar when it comes to reading defenses. But
So let's get it. Let's lock this in now. Way too early season predictions next year. What's y'all record next year? And the way y'all finish y'all season at this point next year.
I don't know because they play. You know, when you win when you win the division, you have the hardest schedule in your division next year. They play the AFC North next year. Everybody in the AFC North had a winning record.
Ooh.
I don't know
including
who
the
they play
Bengals,
in
who
the NFC.
didn't make the playoffs.
Yeah,
and Joe Burrow had a year rest.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know who they play in the NFC, but
y'all got us. Y'all got to come to Carolina again. Yeah.
8, 9, 8, maybe.
Okay, you going 9-8? Okay.
8, 9, 8.
No, which one you want?
All right, give me 8, 9.
8, 9. You think playoffs? No playoffs.
No playoffs.
What you got, Trigger?
We're making the playoffs.
Okay.
You know, with that 7th spot now, like, yeah. I mean, they'll make the playoffs whether they win the division or they're a wild card team.
11-6, Trigger.
I'm gonna say 10-7.
Yeah, 10 in the possible 7. 10 in the possible.
We'll go 10-7 next year.
10 in the possible 7. Playoffs?
Yes, 10-7. Make the playoffs.
3rd seed, got you.
They winning the division. You said they are winning the division.
I'm gonna say Philly because no one wins it 2 years in a row.
Oh yeah,
Philly in shambles. Carolina. I'm gonna go. I don't know if I should go with 12 or 13.
What? 12, 13 losses? I know you ain't talking about 12, 13 wins. I know you're not talking about 12, 13. You talking about 12, 13 wins in one season?
You are dirty.
Are you talking about all in one season?
No, 12, 13 games I'm going to go to because we're going to make the playoffs.
Oh, okay. All right.
That's what I'm talking about. 12, 13. We're going to make the playoffs. We're going to make the playoffs.
But say, I know what you do. You off camera. I just didn't know you were doing it right now.
What are you talking about?
Boy, Miles came to
Pray?
life. He said,
Pray?
He said,
I pray on camera too, bro.
He said 12 or 13. What? Losses? Hey, look at Detroit. You know, they had what? You know, like
right, look
at
4
wins the year before. They come back this year. They win what? 12 games.
Mm-hmm. Who's Lil Fart Rat? What's up, man? Whoever that is.
How you doing? What? Hey, I'm going 8-9 and we're gonna make the playoffs. No, I'm going 9-8 and we're gonna make the playoffs. And Trigger, who you got for KC and Baltimore?
He said Baltimore.
Yeah.
Baltimore.
Yep. Ravens.
Thank you, Trigger. But yeah,
absolutely.
Okay. Back to what Lady Ray said. See, I don't go with the MJ and LeBron debate because I need to get a moderator for these chats. But Dwayne Wade's my favorite player. Dwayne Wade's the best. One of the best players to me. It's probably more Dwayne Wade and Kobe. More than LeBron and Jordan for me. It's more D Wade and Kobe than LeBron and Jordan for me because Dwayne Wade gave his body to Dade County, and that's why he's getting a statue. That's why he's getting a statue. Dwayne Wade. The best two guard to ever play the game. I'm sorry, I had to say it. Trigger agrees. He just don't want to say it.
What, the best two guard to play the game?
Yeah, Trigger agrees.
Yeah, I said shout out D Wade.
Thank you, Trigger. See?
No, are you saying Dwayne Wade's the best shooting guard that ever played the game, though?
The best two guard that ever played this game, yes, sir.
Shout out D Wade. I don't know if I go that far, but shout out D Wade.
Yeah. At first, this nigga said Carolina's gonna win 12, 13 games. Then you say that shit, boy. In the words of Alexander Mans, cocaine is a hell of a drug.
I ain't on that. No, bro. Me and Mima was watching some on Ion. I think it was Criminal Minds, man. And they was messing with the liquid ecstasy, and they started
Wade is my
bleeding
favorite
out.
player as well. That's favorite basketball player. I'm not saying all time, but he was definitely my favorite player.
You said Trigger said he the best all time. Trigger, no.
I think Joel Embiid is up to 65 points with 3.5 minutes to go.
Yeah, Cat had 44 at halftime.
Good grief.
Then he'll put up 6 points next game.
So y'all don't think the 49, you don't think it's gonna be no blowouts this weekend? We all think close games
Yeah, I think it'll be
Like,
close.
before we get out of here.
like I said, my head says the 49ers by 2 touchdowns, but my heart is going with Detroit, man.
I think Detroit's gonna shock them.
Yeah.
All right, Trigger. You wanna you go there, that big young. So
It's been a long day.
all right, well, let's get y'all final words then. I don't want to keep these too much long. We got an hour in, boy. We had an hour on the dot.
I mean, ain't nothing to say, man. Like I said, I ain't gonna keep harping on the Cowboys. You know, they're out. Let's show these 4 teams the love that they deserve. And tired of talking about Dallas. They ain't in it no more. Talk about them in August.
Yeah, the Cowboys have hit an all-time low. And that's a good thing because they can somewhat go up there. I ain't saying they're gonna go all the way to the top, but they gonna rise. We never seen the likes of this having in the fallout of the season. Everybody just kind of attacking each other, and things just seem to just be falling apart even more than the game against Green Bay itself did. So maybe we all learn and get better from this moving forward as a fan base and as a team. Doesn't mean that we're going to win anything next year, but maybe we'll go further in the playoffs. I don't know. But we got work to do. We got things we need to fix, people we need to get rid of, people we need to bring in. I don't know who those people are, but hopefully the changes will be for the better. And it's going to be a great weekend of football next Sunday or this upcoming Sunday. I'm rooting for the Ravens, rooting for Detroit, and we'll see what happens there. But I think it's going to be 2 great games.
I agree. Whew, Baltimore and Detroit in the Super Bowl. Can you imagine that? 2 of the blackest cities in America.
It's gonna be the 49ers and the Ravens. They're gonna get that rematch set up so they can introduce John Harbaugh back into the NBA or Jim Harbaugh back in the NBA, whichever one. I get them confused. Back into the NBA. I said NBA, no NFL. They setting the whole stage back up. It's all
she's taking the Ravens.
The Detroit people are gonna have a Detroit Shock WNBA championship. That's the next championship they're gonna have because the 49ers gonna be that booty cheeks.
Detroit Shock ain't even a thing. They're not even
dang.
They don't even exist anymore.
I was looking at it. I was like, I don't see nothing, so I don't think they was around.
Detroit Shock. They moved the franchise to Tulsa, Oklahoma, and now I think they completely folded.
Why people go to Oklahoma? Like Oklahoma City, I don't get. I mean, I know it's a big market, but that's like saying we're gonna put an NHL team in Richmond because Richmond's a big hockey market, but you can put an NHL team in Richmond, like. But I get they say it's like a tech city.
To play in Richmond.
Hey, it's coming. Hey, we got some arenas. Richmond. Hey, we got the arenas coming. We're gonna get they're trying to get NCAA Division I.
They torn down the Coliseum yet? Is it still?
No, they got they doing proposals on it. They got a whole development proposed for it. VCU about to build their athletic village, and they about to start the Diamond District. And Lego is starting too. So that's a lot.
I got you, man. Well,
but Carolina 12 wins. Carolina's getting 12 wins next year. I'm putting it on the books. Carolina 12 wins. Bryce Young, comeback player of the year. Has been another episode. I am Trigger.
Be good is out his mind.
I'm Mal.
I'll just play. I'm B wise. I'm not out of my mind. 12 wins.
We might have to change that name because there ain't nothing wise about Carolina with the 12 game next year.
Hey, we going to the game this year. Cowboys Panthers game. We going this year. We got to be. We didn't miss the last 2. We got to go this year.
Okay.
Yeah, it's rare they come to the same city 2 years.
Yeah, it's Kansas Charlotte 2 years in a row. Hopefully they get it a good weekend in September too, when it's like a nice 70-degree game and the football. No, you got football.
That'd be great, man. I gotta get to one of these I want to go to Baltimore and I want to go to DC because the Yankees don't come to DC every year either. So I
Yeah.
like to go to at least 2 Yankee games.
You said April or May?
Yeah, they go to Baltimore in late April for I think a 4 game series. It's like the last 2 days
Mm-hmm.
in April, the first 2 days of May, and then they go back to Baltimore in mid July for 3 games. It's like the 12th, 13th, 14th
See,
of July, something like that. And then they go to DC like late August for a 3 game series against the Nationals.
I'm going to New York
So,
in May. See if they're in New York. We go to New York and see them.
well, it won't matter who they play in New York. Well,
That's what I
we
say.
see
See,
the
we going to
Yankees.
May. May 17th, around there. See if they we go to Yankee Stadium.
Check
If
the
we go to Yankee
schedule
Stadium,
to
I've been
see
to
who's
Jersey.
on there.
I want to. No, I can't get it. I'm a Red Sox fan. I can't get no Yankees. Then man, they want let me
I
leave.
had to say, you a Red Sox guy. What the world?
Yeah, Red Sox. Well, I don't know. Baseball. I'm like a free agent. I'm more of a whoever's doing good.
Uh-huh.
I'm more. I mean, NHL. I lean more Caps, the Penguins. But baseball, I'm a Red Sox fan. But
you wear
I gotta see
Pittsburgh
some.
Penguins uniform attire.
And I wear it. Will I wear it?
Huh?
You asked me, will I wear it?
You said you like to wear the Pittsburgh Penguins attire.
No, that's my NHL team. That's my NHL team.
I'm about to say
Embiid has 70 with a minute and a half left.
I'm about
Hey,
to
he
say
trying
you a rolling crip now. A
to.
rolling 60 crip.
Oh no, man, I don't do none of that. I don't. I don't. I just like to watch my football. Oh, here come Bunny. No, she's
I'm not
babysitting.
struggling to stay awake.
He watching them Pistons. He watching them Pistons put them to sleep. Hey, Kate Cunningham be trying, man. That man needs some help.
They pulled him out. He's going to finish with 70 points.
Who they playing?
Yeah, the Spurs.
Well, all
I
right,
thought that.
fellas. Until the
All
next
right, we go.
episode.
Yeah,
Huh?
we going. We were
Boston
going too long.
Sixers history.
All right. Oh,
All right.
hold on. All right, Moth. We catch you, brother.
All right.
All right,
Hold
man.
on. I'm trying. What are your picks for the bowl? What bowl? Super Bowl? It ain't the Steelers. We know it ain't the Steelers, and we know it ain't the Ravens. So she's probably going with Kansas City.
Mm.
Kansas City and who else? Niners. Ravens and
Yeah.
Lions. I'm a stand on it. How you going with the Ravens and you a Steelers fan? Oh, hold on. So that's Lady Ray. She said Niners. Okay. I'm sorry. He got back to back with the Drake song in the comments. Um, I'm guessing. Okay. Ravens and Lions. That's not a bad pick, but Trigger, you see the 49ers favored by 7. I'm just letting you know a blowout is not out of the question, brother.
I still don't think it's going to be a blowout. I think it's going to be close. I'm just hoping that
Pressure.
Detroit makes a couple more plays than San Fran and they win.
I do worry about Brock Purdy against that defense. That's CJG, CGJ.
And like I said, the big key, Debo Samuel now. That should level
Yeah,
the playing field right there. If he doesn't play, even if he does play, he's not going to be 100%.
yeah,
They already said that. He's not going to be 100. So, you got either no Debo Samuel or you got 50% of Debo out there. I think that's going to affect the 49ers. Because we
right.
saw them when they're not complete, when any of those guys are out, Trent Williams, CMC, Debo, if any of those guys miss time, it changes everything. Everything. They are a completely different team. That's why they went on that 3 game losing streak after they blew out Dallas back in week 6, 7, and 8 of the football season earlier this year. So,
Yeah, yeah. Bunny, I thought that was a slur that you just put on the screen because the way you didn't put an S on that. The good thing you didn't put an S on that word. Never mind. You probably said it like the Niners. So She going with the Niners and Niners and KC. I don't know. I think I don't know. I don't think the Chiefs' offensive line hold up, and I think the 49ers' offensive line does hold up in that game. I
They
think it's
don't
gonna
need. They
be.
don't have to.
I think it's gonna be Patrick Mahomes against the Bucs again in the Super Bowl when he's running for his life. You tell me they could put Randall Gregory, Chase Young, Nick Bosa,
I
Jordan
tell you what, the
Hargraves.
Packers did a really good job
They
against
did.
those
They did.
pass
Chase Young.
rushers.
They showed him at
I
the end
mean,
of the game.
Chase
He was like,
Chase Young was getting pushed around by Christian Watson, the wide receiver.
yeah, that's true.
Like, yeah. So I mean, they
It's the
they
reason you
can
got traded.
be they
The reason
can
you
be
got traded.
blocked. They can be slowed down a bit. They played against a much better team than who they
Detroit got a
faced.
good line. That's one thing I worry about.
Detroit
I think
has one
Detroit
of
has
the
a better
best.
line than what we said,
Detroit
like you
has
said.
one of the best offensive lines in the league.
And like you said, they
This is a
they
fact.
were getting blocked by Green Bay, and I think we did pretty decent against Green Bay's line. But it's
Yeah, that offensive line led by Panay Sewell, they are legit.
I just don't see Aiden Hudson beating Trent Williams at all. Uh,
If they line them up over there, they might put them on the other side.
yeah, you better put him on the other side. I might put Trent Williams over on the other side. But I worry because Brock Purdy didn't look sturdy in that game. He looked a little shaky.
Yep, he did, and that might have been the weather bothering because they say he kept wiping his hands because of the rain and stuff. And then again,
Oh,
not
he can't
having
play
one
in
of
the
your
weather.
biggest weapons in Debo on the field, that would make him look a little shaky
But I
like he
don't know.
did when they went on that 3-game losing streak. So I don't think it's a coincidence that anytime Debo goes down, Brock Purdy doesn't look too good. Even
But
though
they
he
said
does,
Well, their offense became what Carolina's offense was. Is nothing
yeah,
but the
because
C Mac show.
they kept force feeding the ball to Christian McCaffrey when Debo went out. But anywho, um, even you would think them missing Debo would think that'd be a huge deal because you still got Trent Williams, you got CMC, you got Ayuk, you got Kittle, you still got weapons.
Yeah,
But it's just I don't know. It's just something about Debo when he's not in that lineup, man. They're just a different team.
it's
Like losing
You
your
think it's
running back, you
motion?
think will have more impact. Losing your left tackle, you think will have more impact, but not a wide receiver, especially when you
Right.
got two other guys in the passing game who can make up for the loss. And Ayuk and Kittle and even Jennings, he made
Yeah,
some pretty good catches when Debo went out. He was a reliable weapon. So I don't know, and it might be like you said, it might just be like an attitude thing, motivational thing with Debo.
right. It's
Emotional.
I don't know. I worry. You're right. I worry now. Well, no, I don't worry about. I do worry about my blowout predicament now because Dan Campbell brought what Carolina needs is a culture. You need somebody you'll run through a brick wall for, and them boys will run through a brick wall. But
Yep, and they biting kneecaps on the way through.
hopefully they don't hit a firewall behind it because they're gonna run into that 49ers defense, and I think it's going. I hope Ron St. Brown still dancing at this game because it might not be a good one.
Yeah, I think the keys for the Lions to win this game obviously would be to um, get pressure on Brock Purdy. I think that's the biggest thing. Make him feel you.
Yeah, that's
Get
both
him
quarterbacks.
rattled. Get him rattled early. They can get to him a couple times, especially with no Debo, getting his head a little bit. I think that'll affect the 49ers offensively in a big way. And I think their defense is going to be another key as a whole. Like getting to Brock Purdy on the pass rush and then being able to not give up big plays to CMC or any of the guys and receivers down the field. So I think defensively it's going to be you know a challenge for them. Offensively, even though the 49ers defense is going to be there and they're fully healthy for the most part, I think offensively they'll be fine.
Right.
St. Brown's going to get open. He's going to be their lead receiver, no doubt. Jameer Gibbs and David Montgomery. I mean, they have been a great 1-2 punch this season. I think they can have some success running the ball on this defense because we saw Aaron Jones do it by himself against this 49ers defense. So I think they'll be able to run the ball. It'll take some pressure off of Goff for having to make all the plays with his arm. But I think the biggest key for the Lions, like I said, is just defensively. Getting to Brock Purdy early and not giving up big plays down the field. And they'll be fine. I think offensively they'll be fine. As long as they're able to run the ball, they'll be okay. For the 49ers to win, definitely establish the run game, the CMC.
Yeah.
Take some pressure off of Brock, with no Debo or half of Debo. And I think really that'll be the key to them offensively, just being able to have a good run game. Defensively, I'll say the same thing, getting the Goff, not letting them get confidence. Jared Goff is a quarterback, and he'll give the ball to you if you put pressure on him. He'll turn the ball over once or twice, and that could be the difference in the ball game if they would do that. They did it against Jordan Love. They were able to come up with some stops late, and they kind of saved Brock Purdy a little bit. They can definitely get Jared Goff if they get some pressure on him. So I think the 49ers defense, if they bring the same intensity that I would like to see the Detroit defense bringing to Purdy, they will definitely get a turnover or two out of Jared Goff if they do that.
Yeah,
they'll 100%. Force him into some mistakes, and that might be all they need to cover up for not having Debo at 100% or not having them at all. And if Brock Purdy gets off to a slow start.
And like you said, I think it's going to be a great weekend of football. We got our GM, so hopefully when Detroit loses, we go ahead and get that Ben Johnson second interview done. He comes to Carolina. We got an offensive mind. We got a gyro as the DC. Cam Newton's coming to the organization in some capacity. I think that's why they separated president of football operations and GM. So stand by for it's going to be some more hiring and the administrative side.
Everybody going to Carolina this offseason.
Hey, we bringing everybody back. We coming. We bringing that culture back. We going to get NFC Championship next year. Going to be in Carolina. So that's why we need to get ready. I need to get my PSLs locked in because they're expensive still. I was hoping they'd be a little bit cheaper with the way the season went. I was about to get them before the season. I was like, no, let me wait, see how it go. I'm glad I didn't get them this year because I would have been a mad boy if I'd got season tickets.
Oh, yeah. I've been
my
mad
first year season tickets, man. Oh, my God.
I want a refund.
But we do play
a refund.
We play KC in Germany next year as a home game. So that wouldn't be a bad. That would be a fun game to attend. Patrick Mahomes, Bryce Young dueling in Germany. So I'm looking forward to the season, man. I'm ready. We need to dive into some mock drafts and NBA and NCAA and all that kind of stuff.
Soon. Yeah, this football season is going to be over with soon, man. We're going to have to get into more NBA. It'll be closer to playoff time, and then baseball will be starting up. We can cover a little bit of that. The March Madness, that'll be happening.
Bro, we're a month away from the combine, too. We're a month away from the combine, 3 months away from the draft.
Yep, we got a lot of stuff coming up that we'll be covering. I'm excited about it.
Yeah.
It's going to be a good spring. Good spring.
Yeah.
Going into the summer. And before we know it, the NFL season will be back.
We gotta I gotta count because we might be on episode 20 or close to episode 20 of Strictly Sports, and look at how we adapt and where we've come and where we are and where we going. It's exciting.
That's great.
We got a ticker, bro. We got a ticker.
We got the ticker.
We got a ticker, cuz.
Look at the screen. Look at the ticker. We got look at that.
We got a ticker. So, yeah, hey, we have 4 viewers. We appreciate y'all too, because thank y'all for sitting in with us. We do. We love
Absolutely love the support.
Thank you so much. It truly means a lot. Yeah, we got some things coming. It's
y'all fancy.
Yeah, we think. I'm sorry.
We trying to do a little something. We ain't doing it yet, but we on the way.
They didn't cut the lights off on me. I'm getting kicked out of the club. I'm getting kicked out of the club.
Not fancy now.
Hey, what light cut off? What light just cut off? Bro, I just got kicked out of my club.
Somebody forgot to pay the light bill or something.
I got kicked out of the club in my own house. That's crazy. Y'all ungrateful. But yeah, I guess that's telling us it's time to wrap. Let me hold $1. Y'all fancy. Let me hold the dollar as it goes. It is. We got man Frank be up there. He be talking and all that stuff. Man, Frank be bull crap. He walking up there and stuff when you trying to sleep and you up here by yourself. He be up there tap dancing and stuff and all. But other than that, he cool. He don't mess with you. He don't do much. He'll bump
Oh
into
my
the wall
goodness.
sometimes. You start laughing. He start bumping into the wall and stuff. Man, Frankie, man, you gonna sit your ass down, boy. You up there running into the wall. How you a ghost and you run into the wall?
Stop.
I was like, Frank, man, sit your ass down, bro. But yeah,
Stop.
no. I had to get that little story time.
Don't you
We
hate
gotta get
that?
some clips. We gotta
Yep,
get some
I
clips.
hate it.
We gotta get some clips. Yeah. I, yeah, he be doing dumb. He be make the toilet run. He be leaving the sink running too. Water bill be going up. All that kind of stuff. So other than that, we
Wow.
good. Shout out NLC and H dot for the clothing. Next level clothing. Yeah, check out H dot Wolf. We only love family hoodie. I appreciate it.
Okay, that's what that. I was about to ask you what that stood for. That's
Yeah,
cool.
we only
That's
love
cool.
family. We only love family. I like to say we only love food. We only love some other things I can't say on camera. We only love we only love foil. Like when you go to somebody's house and they got aluminum foil to actually go to go plates, and now got the actual to go plates. We got that. Um, we love our Ford. We love our Ford Fusion. Shout out to Ford. It's built Ford tough for dads like us to
We love our
get us
Ford
to
Fusion.
all our places. I mean, I'm sorry, that's a little few.
W Ford Fusion.
Ford, we love our Ford Fusion. So it's come on, hey Ford, shout out, thank y'all for getting us places. You know, we built Ford tough for fathers like us, especially a hardworking firefighter in the community. He needs a good, nice white with the black feet Raptor to drive
Mm.
around in. So uh, we gonna make that happen. Shout out Lady Ray for making dreams come true. So she gonna
Yep,
get us
yep,
a
yep,
Ford Raptor.
yep,
Um,
yep, yep.
yeah, I don't know. You got anything else, Trigger?
Nah, brother. Nah, brother. I said everything I need to say this evening. I think where we're headed, where we need to be going. We're getting there.
She gonna steal it. You already that's
Journey of a
premeditated. That's premeditated vehicular.
journey of a
Fa-
1,000 miles begins with a single step, and we've been stepping for 20 some episodes now. So
we've been crawling, bro. Now we got a ticker.
yeah.
We starting to walk. We starting to walk a little bit. We you know we got our feet wet. We dabbled,
Mm-hmm.
but now it's time to repurpose. Repurpose with intent. We got the X. We gonna start going crazy on X with the news. Y'all gonna follow us on X because I'm gonna get the boys to log in and we gonna start head hunting on there and getting into some debates and getting into some talks and getting into some topics and starting some debates and starting some topics that we can talk about and discuss and kind of brain dump on there to get our thoughts on different things. And yeah, we appreciate y'all. It's a it's
Absolutely. Yes.
it's a marathon. Marathon continues. Shout out Nick. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I'm BY.
I'm triggered.
Another episode. Appreciate y'all. Peace.
Yep. Yep.